What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Christian Hannah here today with a really cool top 5. We're going to start getting into the 2000s soon, but I wanted to do a video that I just realized I had never done, and that's going to be my top 5 Stephen King movies. This is a really tough list to compile because with Stephen King, it's like, antiquated isn't the word I'm looking for. They're very much divided into just like cult fan bases. A lot of these movies have cult fan bases and strong fan bases for each movies because a lot of Stephen King movies are really nothing alike. Stephen King just makes very original, different types of movies. So with that being said, you're going to get my 5 personal favorite movies. Now, emphasis on the word favorite. I'm not saying these are the best, but these are my 5 favorite Stephen King movies. So let's start with my number 5. Number 5 for me is going to be, ironically enough, a movie that I never really loved for the longest time. And I after rewatching it the last time, I couldn't help but just realize I thoroughly enjoy the movie, and that is John Carpenter's Christine. When you say John Carpenter and Stephen King, they don't exactly seem like they would fit well together. I don't know why. It doesn't seem normal. I don't know what it is about those two, but it doesn't seem like the right fit. And, honestly, with Christine, don't know who would have done a better job directing this movie. John is able to really make you believe this car was alive. He really was able to make you believe that this car had this spirit in it, this entity. I gotta give John Carpenter credit. He did a great job on Christine, and I love the movie. Number 4 for me is going to be the movie Misery. Wow, Misery is a movie, it's funny. I kind of think of Kathy Bates and John Goodman in the same way, even though they're not. Here's why I'll say this, though. I grew up knowing John Goodman as Dan Connor, knowing him as Fred Flintstone, and when I heard about this horror movie he did, I couldn't imagine being fearful of him, and I absolutely was. Now, the opposite end of the spectrum of that was Kathy Bates. This movie came out well before all the funny stuff she did, but I had never seen Misery. So I knew Kathy Bates as Mama Boucher from Waterboy and movies like that. So when I finally go to see, in The Office, and when I go to see Kathy Bates, first off in American Horror Story, and then seeing her in Misery, I was like, good Lord, this woman is horrifying. And Misery has got to be one of the most just gut-wrenching horror movies that got adapted from a Stephen King novel. Misery is just daunting. It's painful to watch what this man goes through. Number 3 for me is one of the only movies that Stephen King himself says he doesn't like. You already know what I'm talking about. And who am I to argue with one of the masters of horror, Stephen King? But sorry, man, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is one of the most incredible horror movies from the 1980s period. The Shining it's got its own life. It's lived through all these years. Jack Nicholson, great story, a great cast. Still imagery in this movie that haunts my dreams. I mean, some of the stuff in here, just the mascot with the bunny suit or whatever it was, leaning over, the bear suit, I forgot. When you see him leaning up and you see the other guy sitting on the bed, you can infer what was going on, but it was just... And then the old woman. Number 2 for me is actually going to be a new movie, It. That's right, the new It. The new It movie was fantastic. I loved it. I even loved the musical pieces they put in there. Being a big Anthrax fan, hearing Antisocial in the movie was great. Just a movie that people were excited for, but nobody was ready for how good this movie was going to be. Nobody was truly ready for how good the movie was going to be. And I'm happy to say it was fantastic. So while I love the original It, it's a great movie. The new one just grabs me by the soul, and it's hard for a movie to do that, but it does. Grabs me by the soul, and it's my It now. I love it. Maybe some of you will see this coming. Maybe some of you will be shocked, but my number 1 favorite Stephen King movie of all time is Children of the Corn. One of the most just haunting, scary movies I've ever seen. Till this day, I just love Children of the Corn. I think it's one of the greatest horror movies ever made. I truly do. Children of the Corn is what all adults fear. I mean, it really is. Me being an adult now, I'm 27, even though I still feel like a kid. To see the diner scene when everything's happy-go-lucky, the kids are playing pinball, the kids are sitting by their parents, and all of a sudden the kids just take over this diner and just slash all these adults. Nothing could be more horrifying than that. True horror. Absolute true artistic literature horror. And that's what I love about Children of the Corn. I think it's, like I said, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. My opinion, humble opinion, the best Stephen King movie ever made. So that's my list. That's my 5 Stephen King movies. Now, there's a lot of great ones. There's a lot of great ones. But that's my top 5 list, guys. Cannot wait to see your top 5 Stephen King movies. Please drop a comment below. Tell me which one you love. Tell me which ones you think are overrated, whatever you want to do. Obviously, check the description for all the cool stuff I have. Teespring. Follow me on social media. You should see that in the corner. Christian Hannah Horror, and yeah, all that great stuff. Hit the bell. So this is Christian Hannah Horror. We'll see you guys next time.